Welcome back to Beyond Brave, everybody. I am your host, Kyla Thompson, with my hubby, Lyle.
Yes, I'm Lyle.
And this is Lyle. If you guys have never met him
I
before,
haven't been on in a little
it's
little
been a
bit.
minute. It's been a
Yeah,
minute. We're live.
couple weeks, I guess, right?
Yeah. And we're live right now. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Sure.
Is that what we're live on? So, FYI, oh, wait, I got to start. I got to start this.
Pardon
No,
me?
I mean, this is fine. I'm starting it this way. It's okay.
Where are you going with this?
Oh my gosh. Now it left my
Is it
brain
your
again.
cold? You've been dealing with a cold these days.
Fighting for my life
same
today.
Me as well.
I don't think it's a cold.
No?
You and Denny think it is. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Denny, our producer, is in the background taking questions. If any of you on our lives have questions, like really pressing ones or important ones, he'll chime in.
He'll chime in, but I see about 4 pages of notes in your hand, so we'll see what we can get through.
Okay, only 3.5 of these are just like from my. I wanted to talk about when I went and spoke with the nurses at the college.
Mm-hmm.
I recently did some speaking with the nurses at our local college, and I just had some things from there I want to share.
Okay.
Okay, so back to our intro. We recently went on a trip to BC, so we have a lot to talk about.
Right.
From stunning waterfalls to funny town names that we've never seen and that we have to bring up because they're pretty freaking hilarious. Lyle is officially back to work after his leave, so we're unpacking that transition.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have
We're unpacking that tonight?
Yeah, I thought I'd surprise you with that.
All right.
We're including, I forgot about this. We're including surprise thoughts on Lyle becoming a grandpa sooner than expected.
Excuse me?
You don't remember what you said?
No.
I thought it was really funny.
We probably won't have time for that, though.
No, I'll bring it up in here. I can bring it up right now. Let me get my novel out here.
No. Leave that as a cliffhanger.
Okay, cliffhanger.
Can you just not wrestle around the papers all night?
Leave me alone.
All right.
I've been fighting. I've been fighting for my life because I have this tickle that's been so freaking annoying for the last week. It was like a cold last week, and then that went away, and now it's just this annoying tickle that when it attacks, and then you have a cough attack, and it's so freaking annoying. And then I did what was called an NAD plus infusion today. And if you're not sure what that is, just go Google it. But it's basically a powerful detox for your body. And so I kind of felt like, I don't want to say like a crackhead, shivering on the couch earlier today.
Well, you pumped something inside your body, and now you're have a fever. Had to lay down.
My fever.
Is this really a detox?
It is. It was a detox.
Did she warn you your liver is probably
all
working?
of the warnings took place, and I did all my research, and it was really, really good for my body. And that's how you know it's working.
Okay.
That's how you know it's working. It took one look inside my body. It's like, holy crap! She needs some work.
Why? Because you eat pomegranate all day. It's not what are you detoxing from? Trust me.
Inflammation.
If anyone needs it, it's not you. It's me.
Chronic stress. Chronic stress does crap to your bowels.
You're detoxing from chronic stress?
I'm trying. High cortisol.
Okay. All right. I'll buy it.
I don't have an hour to tell you all my research. They can Google it.
That's
you guys can
true.
Google it. You can Google it. Okay. Let's start by unpacking you returning to work. As a bereaved dad, what was it like walking back into the office for the first time?
Well, I was pretty anxious about returning back to work. My work is part field work, part office work, 50-50. And I work with a lot of people in the office, and they're all awesome to work with. But I think just going into back to any normalcy was making me anxious.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, I had a big problem with just getting past that step. And I still kind of, not every day, but maybe every other day at work, do get a little bit upset about the normalcy and stepping outside of, the grieving sort of cycle. But all in all, it's been really good.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part?
Yeah.
Waking up at 6. I don't know.
Really? That checks.
Right.
That checks, yeah.
To be honest, but actually, I would say
You've been handling that with changing your workout routine though, and working out when you get up at 6.
Having a nice normal going back into a routine has been really nice.
That part's been good.
Yeah, that part's been good. The
gonna
work
say,
has been really good. I've been enjoying the work as
Yeah.
well. I sometimes when you're away from work, idle hands, you don't know what quite to do with yourself, and so that even brings on some anxiety. So always having somewhere to be is really nice feeling.
How would you simplify what you do for people that don't know?
Oh man, I rent land out to farmers.
You work for the government.
I work for the government. The government owned land that I rent to farmers. Yeah.
Do you think work helps?
Did that explanation of my job actually help you more than probably anyone
Probably
else?
did. I've always
Is that what you do?
not as bad as when you worked for Matrix, and I was like,
I was environmental consulting. Yeah.
yeah. It
For
was a
oil
lot.
and gas,
It took
yeah.
me a while to figure out what you actually did. It was kind of funny. Um, okay, did you feel like work helps distract you from grief, or does it make it harder?
Oh, it does distract me from grief, but then that makes it harder when I do snap back. Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't say harder. Grief isn't hard. It's
constant.
I like the process of it. I feel bad when I'm not. So,
Yeah.
like I was in the field today by myself, and I got a little upset when I was just taking some time out, and I was happy for it afterwards. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been good. I was nervous about it, and it's definitely been good. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not more interesting. I can't make my throat whenever I laugh. It really
We
hurts.
both sound like old geezers when we laugh. Like,
Do you hear that?
yeah. Like, it was just,
Oh, don't do that again.
that was weird. That was more of like a creepy old man. Than
Yeah.
a
So
sick old man.
that's my breakdown on work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had to. So we booked our most recent grief therapy session, not realizing you'd be back at work by this time. So I went solo this
Right.
week to our grief therapy
I
session.
didn't even ask you how that went.
Yeah.
I was saving it for the pod.
It was really good. I got a chat with our therapist, and I really focused on just like my thoughts around. Also, like, it's hard for me to say going back to work. I've didn't have a 9 to 5 job. I took a leave from. Like, I'm a collaborator, content creator. Kyle's dropping his microphone.
Sorry.
It's getting wild in the studio, in the Brave Cave.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned that in a while.
Where were you going with that though?
This is the Brave Cave. Basically talked to him a lot about like how I can support you, because I feel like your transition just seems a lot harder, whereas mine's
Well, it was
more of
totally
like a
going
trickling
from
in.
one thing to the other.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
Sudden change.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, anticipating like, being alone all day, right? Like, I work from home. The work that I do with my collaborations and my partnerships is a work from home job. And to have Waylon gone all day, and now you gone all day,
Empty house.
empty house. And, this like 2 or 3 years ago, before I, started anxiety meds and everything, and before Bella's passing, was like super scary. And now I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. And now it's like the opposite. It's like I've become introvert, and I'm like, I don't want to be around crowds. Like, I just don't have the energy for people, and I like being home alone, whereas home alone used to like scare the crap out
Yeah,
of me.
that's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
You get that way. Like it is comforting, but then you become a hermit.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No hermitizing over here. No. I'm too much of like, I
No,
love.
but you scared me there. He's like, I kind of like just sitting at home. Like, no.
I'm not just sitting at
You were
home,
the
though.
one that did, like, you pushed me to go out, and now you're gonna back off on that. Then I'll just become way worse.
No, as in like work though, not as in like sitting at home eating bonbons. I
Oh,
mean, like,
you don't want to leave for work. Wow. Who the hell does?
okay, mine's a little bit different. I don't get my own office. If I go back to subbing, like I am working, but if I were to leave to go to a job, it would be sub teaching. And for me, that's a little different, because it's like, I can't just break down in the middle of class because I see one of Bella's friends like walk by in the hallway, or I teach a certain subject about something similar to like what Bella liked. You know what I mean? Like, that's all going through my head. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be home alone doing nothing either, or like
When you don't have a bunch on your
when
plate,
I don't have. It's kind of
you
slow
have
for me right
8
now.
hours of
Yeah.
holy man.
And then things are gonna pick up.
So
Like
you
I have.
drum up like infusions and fun ways to spend money. Like
I am in my self-care era. Okay,
Oh, isn't that convenient?
my self-care era.
That should have started
I am
a long
healing
time
my
ago.
body from 10 years of chronic, debilitating stress. Okay, I'm focusing on that.
That's
also,
important.
I'm kind of in a low, but things are gonna pick up. Like I have collaborations with Make-A-Wish Canada. my partnership with Ronald McDonald House Charities Canada. I just recently did a collaboration with SaskTel, and I hope that continues into like a long-term partnership.
You don't have to worry about your work. I'm just saying the 8 hours at home by yourself is probably not the healthiest thing.
I've made a switch lately. I'm thinking about going back to subbing sooner than I thought I would.
It's up to you.
Yeah. And like you had mentioned earlier with Waylon being in grade 1 and me having a chance to like sub for his class.
That was my pitch.
It's really enticing. I'm like, oh. And then Waylon caught wind of us chatting about it one day. He's like, Mom, when are you going to teach me? When are you going to come teach me? He's like really pumped. It's like, okay, I have to now.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cute, I think. Yeah. Be a fly on the wall.
Let's talk about our BC trip.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, that place was cool.
Lyle and I have I call Eva our BC mom. Mm-hmm. She's our BC mom. I had this friend.
She definitely gave that vibe.
Oh, she's an amazing lady. And she lives in Nelson, BC. And she reached out to me after following our story and knowing Bella. And she started by sending us some flowers and letters and just reaching out to us and saying like how much she cared about Bella and cares about us and just wanted to help in any way she could. And she's like, she helps clean an Airbnb there. And so it turned out that we got to come stay in Nelson, BC.
That was a hike, 10-hour drive.
Yeah, that was a big hike. But I mean,
Waylon did great.
Oh, so Waylon had only skied at Cypress Hills in Saskatchewan like 4 times at this point.
Everyone listening is like, skied in Saskatchewan.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, there's like,
hills. There's rolling hills.
Yeah.
But this was his first time skiing down a mountain. And he did amazing. He had his harness for like the first day kind of on and off. And the second day, he's skiing down a mountain on his own at 6 years old.
Yeah, he did really good.
And I rocked my dad's like 40-year-old Dynastar skis and boots.
They were really vintage. Did you get a few compliments?
I did get some compliments on them. We made
comments or compliments?
Both.
Both.
Compliments.
Sounds like those are pieces.
Whoa, those are like antique. And it was funny to joke about how it's like you see all the old skis on the wall in the bars, and it's like, I just picked them off the wall.
Yeah,
it's like literally
in the chalet.
And I even did like we went to Cyprus like a couple months ago, and I even did a shout out. Like I tagged Dynastar. I'm like, you guys. I'm like, I am rocking your skis that are like 40-some years old, and they are freaking amazing. Like they still work, and no problem.
So we stayed in Nelson, BC, which is almost interior BC, I'd say. It's like east.
Its own little biodome you figured out.
Yeah, it's a temperate rainforest. It was wild in there.
It's cool.
Totally different trees and vegetation. It snows like 8 meters a year there.
We went to the park that had green grass and a beach with sand. It was like
gorgeous.
This beautiful little biodome.
Too. Yeah.
Like it was gorgeous.
Very cool town. And the food there, like the restaurants we checked out were amazing.
I think we tried every like popular restaurant in Nelson, BC. It was absolutely awesome.
We're kind of foodies when we travel.
A little bit. Yeah, but we also had
I don't mind spending my money on like a supper.
Yeah.
I get really irritated spending my money on breakfast and lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I'm going to spend a bunch of money on a meal, it better be supper.
Yeah.
Or dinner.
And
people are probably laughing that I call it supper. Do you call it supper or dinner?
Oh, I say breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
How do we not?
I say breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah. Some people call lunch dinner, and I'm like, what?
No, it's supper.
Yeah.
No, you call
breakfast,
supper dinner.
Lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner and supper are the same thing. Lunch is lunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, true.
And some people call lunch dinner, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Dinner is supper.
I think my dad calls it dinner.
It's weird. Like you sit down to dinner, you don't like.
And the ski hill was like dead, so there was no line up on the lift.
Didn't have to wait once.
And it was a really good trip.
The coolest thing was I used to ski in the mountains with my dad. He taught me how to ski since I was like 4, and we'd go down to Montana, BC, and everywhere. And the coolest thing was listening to them blow up the side of the mountain.
Oh, right.
That was so cool.
Like the avalanche control.
Avalanche control. Yeah, it went off like 8 or 10 times the first morning we were there, and it was like.
Which is a good sign for the hill, because that means it just snowed a pile.
Yeah, it was great snow. And there was supposed to be a competition, but it got too foggy. But the first day when they were going to like check their route, there was a part where like Nelson, like what is the actual Whitewater?
Yeah.
It's like this bowl, and so there's 3 massive ski hills, 3 or 4 massive chairlifts. So they go up this one chairlift, and then they still had to hike another 250 meters. So going up the one chairlift, Waylon and I could see the hikers going up to like the peak of the mountain in this like trail that looked like a bunch of ants.
You're gonna have to hold it together.
Oh.
You have to cough, but you got all the notes in front of you.
It's a tickle attack. Anyways, BC was awesome. The funniest thing though is we come across the town of Yak, and
Yak.
Yak. I don't think I've ever been through the town of Yak. But they have the best business name, you guys.
No, it was funny because the town of Yak has two great business names.
Three.
And one was
There's three.
What were they?
Okay, so in order, you guys, of us seeing them, I'm not even lying.
Two Pump Tonys?
No, wait, let me say this. Two Pump Paul.
Two Pump Paul.
Gas station. Two Scoop Steve. And Hummer Gas.
Yeah. So, Kyla, where should we fill up at? Two Pump Paul's or Hummer Gas?
And then get 2 scoops from Steve. Like, what? Yak, you guys have some sweet business names.
Yeah. Shout out
Also,
to
your
Yak.
town name is really great. I mean, that's hilarious.
Good.
Okay. Next on my notes was a moment that we had hiking. We like to go while Waylon comes home from school and he's like, put your hand up if you want to go on a family walk. And so we have like 10, 11 acres of coulee where we live. And so we always like to go for walks. And so a little while ago, we still had quite a bit of snow coverage in our coulee coming from our dugout. And it made like little, what I thought were taverns. But they're
Taverns?
caverns.
What did you...
Remember when I mixed up cavern and tavern?
No, I'm sorry.
I called this a moment of
What?
words with Kyla.
Okay.
So let's break it down. What is the actual definition of a cavern?
It's like a cave.
And what is a tavern?
A bar.
And so we were walking by this. Yes, thank you, Lyle.
I'm
No
the
more-
worst at podcasts.
No more bunny trails for Kyla. Explanations. Anyways, we were walking by this.
No, I want to know what's
Okay.
your breakdown of it?
Well, so as we're coming up to our dugout, we see this big mound of hard snow. And where the grass is, it kind of comes over and it makes like a cave indent where the water was flowing. So it's like you could reach and go in like 2 feet under the snow where it was like hovering over the grass. And I was like, oh, it's like a cool little tavern. And you're like, it's not a tavern. I'm like, it's a tavern. You're like, it's a cavern. And then I was like, nah. Okay, well, let's look up the definition because I'm pretty sure it's a tavern.
Was it a tavern then? Was I wrong?
Where do these words come from? Quick origin history with Kyla.
Right. Oh, God.
All right. A cavern is a large cave, especially one of significant size or extent. A tavern is an establishment where alcoholic beverages are sold to be consumed.
I think I know the difference.
So you knew the difference. And I called the cavern a tavern. Anyway,
This is your content tonight.
stop it.
You said don't review the notes. I probably should have reviewed the notes.
I like surprising you with stuff. I like it. I like
Is
it.
this like...
Wait, I got more juicy stuff. I have a DM I want to share from Instagram. I got more things coming up, guys. Just hold on. But first, the origins of cavern. It was derived from
God.
it was derived from the Latin word cavus, meaning hollow, which is what I saw. I saw the hollow that the water dug out from under the snow. It just looked really freaking cool.
Yeah.
Tavern comes from the Latin word taberna, originally meaning shed, workshop, stall, or pub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, that's your little tidbit of information. Tonight, if you didn't learn, you know, you learned something new. Stop staring at the camera.
I don't think anyone learned anything.
I like you're being held hostage for my cavern and tavern origins. All right, you want to hear about a DM I got?
Yes. Are we just covering like loose topics tonight?
You didn't design the podcast for tonight.
Okay, this is well, usually you bring something heavy
Come
to the
along
table,
for the
though.
ride or learn how to drive,
Usually
buddy.
you bring something. Drive. Yeah, drive.
Come
this
along for
bus.
the ride or learn how to drive. I just made that up. You're welcome.
You usually bring like, you know,
4
little
pieces of paper.
mix of heavy and light.
Well, we started with your going back to work as a bereaved dad.
Aw.
We covered that.
Okay. I
No,
just didn't get into it much. It's been good. Sorry. Yeah, that's great. I guess we're coming along.
I was going to ask you, according to that, if you had any like unexpected positives from it.
No, nothing unexpected.
I think when you first came home and I was really kind of like on edge and I'm like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
You had said it was really a pleasant surprise that you weren't like bombarded by coworkers or staff. It was kind of like,
Yeah. That was my fear.
the mood was really chill and really like laid back, and it wasn't like on you.
Yeah.
Like some people might expect going back to work after 8 months.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
That would be the fear.
yeah.
I think anyone would fear that, no matter what position they're in. No, who wants that?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
people must know that they wouldn't want that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, oh, and I forgot to mention what I was going to finish saying about my my counseling session with our grief counselor.
That was what I wanted to know.
Yes. Okay, so it went really good because I went in there saying like I am really concerned for you because I just feel like you have this bigger transition right now and I wanted, ways to support you. And then we talked a little bit about
That's
like
kind.
yeah, and then we kind of unpacked about my feelings about going into subbing and juggling content creatorship, partnerships, and sub teaching. And we just talked a bit about that. And really, he really just emphasized, you know, it is different for everyone. Because part of me is like, am I going back into the public workspace too soon? Like, what if I do break down in front of students? What if this happens? What if that happens? And he's like, what if it does?
Nothing.
Then what?
No big deal.
No. And people are there that understand, and people are there that I'm close with, that I've worked with before.
Right.
And I feel like it's just, I think I was just holding on to the fear of doing it from months ago and realizing that's transitioned into like, no, this is maybe something I need right now.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think at 6 months time past when after Bella passed away, I think I was starting to feel like I could probably do this. And I'm glad I waited to 8 months, but by 7 months, yeah, you're right where it was like, no, I think this is more of something I do need now rather than, yeah, it was good timing for me anyways.
Yeah. And just
It's
like
interesting.
being a medical mom, I know a lot of parents that have lost their children and I know the length of their leaves.
Right.
And I know the majority of them have been at least a year. So it had me thinking like, is this too soon for you? Is this too soon for me? And this and that. And he just reminded me like, it is different for everyone. Don't compare. Everyone's grief road is different.
I think we've been really active in our grief process.
Probably more than maybe the average person. Yeah.
Well, we put ourselves out there a lot and talked openly, candid, out loud about it to each other and to other people. And as much as that is hard to do, it maybe helps. And I know it does.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think
and
that's
he
part
asked
of the
me
case.
a
I'm not,
real. Oh, sorry.
No, I guess I'm not over anything. It's just the emotional torment is easier to cope with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We ended our session. He asked me a really surprising question. But I mean, this is their job. They're good at what they do. And I was like, I didn't think about that. Should be thinking about that. You should be thinking about that. Guess what he asked me?
I don't know.
When was the last time you and Lyle went on a date?
We went on plenty of dates.
Oh,
we
for
were in
Pete's
Nelson.
sake.
We went on a date.
Alone, not with our 6-year-old.
Yeah, but we stuck him like the iPad in front of him. That counts.
The last time we went on a planned date where you courted me and it was just us was when?
What do you mean, courted? Yeah, I can't remember.
I'm gonna spit on my water. If we're going that deep, yeah, I can't remember. But I was like, the last time we went like out for dinner, like just us, like no kids, like not with Waylon.
Or other friends.
Well, I guess that would have been Vegas.
Well, yeah.
But that
I
was
guess.
November.
Yeah, or like Christmas parties. We went out. Just
Not really a date.
No, not
It's
a
a
date.
difference. Yeah.
Okay.
It just got me thinking. When was the last time we courted each other?
Well, let's go out for a date around Easter. Why don't we do that? Easter time. That'd be a good time to go on a date.
Sorry, I'll be in Mexico with my girlfriends.
Yeah.
We'll
Would have been a perfect opportunity.
We'll unpack that later, okay, guys? I'm going to Mexico in a week, FYI. Lots to share,
Really?
but not right now.
No. Apparently
Okay.
nothing to share when you get back.
Okay, so what happens in Mexico stays in Mexico.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. I was going to mention a DM I got, and I wanted to share it. Of course, I'll keep my friend anonymous or whatever, but I just found in dealing with grief, she brought up a really interesting point that evoked, do I say evoked? Evoked an answer from me.
Emoted? No.
Emoted?
Evoked. Yeah.
Evoked an answer from me that I was kind of like weirdly proud of. And I was like, And the way I like ended it, anyways, I replied to her and I hope it really helped her. But I was just like, yeah, more people need to think this way. So I'll just read it to you. So she had said, I got a message um, around dealing with anger and grief. And she said, like, how do you deal with anger towards people? She lost someone really, really close to her. And she's struggling with anger towards people who have left her and her child in grief. People that she thought would be there for her.
Mm.
And the anger is like overtaking. And she says, I know you dealt with some of this, and I was hoping you had some advice that might help make this path of grief easier. Sending you love. And this was my reply. And I'd like to know how you would. Do you want to start? How would you reply to that? I was like, that's a really good question. And I hope I helped with my answer, but
I have no idea how
would you
I would
do?
answer that.
Have you felt a lot of anger with your grief towards people that you feel have left you behind?
No.
Maybe you haven't.
I
think
don't-
I have.
Okay. I don't think I
But
have.
I don't think you have.
No.
So this is what I said. I said, I 100% have. And I'm so sorry you feel that too. My grief therapist has been amazing. If you have any chance to find someone for that, it's a must. He showed me where to place that anger and how, so I can get it out and validated. He validated it too, so I could let it go. I found no matter who you are, there will be people who completely dismiss your grief. I wish I could seriously, this is what I wrote. I said, I wish I could seriously punch them. That's how angry I get. But that anger, if I'm patient, eventually turns into me feeling sorry for them because they clearly don't know the true power of love and therefore just are not worth my energy, my breath, or my time. In the worst way, they are a lower human, and I find peace in knowing I am nothing like them.
I think, ooh, that's a little bold ending. I think the nice part
There's
is
strong
it
feelings with grief.
validates things that you've maybe thought previously about people.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, no, they're not worth my time, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like don't feel like you have to prove anything to them. Your grief is your grief, and it is like if people aren't going to give the time and energy to understand it for you, they're not worth your time and energy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I haven't experienced
people are
that
gonna
myself personally. You
No,
know,
yeah.
I kind of feel the opposite sometimes, where I feel like the whole world is looking at me as just the guy whose kid died, and that is, it's nice, it's comforting, but it's also you want to be comfortable in public and not just to be that's how I've looked at people that have been in my shoes as well. That's what I'm like, oh, that's the guy who's,
There's
kid
that
died.
feeling, and then there's people that completely dismiss it, and those are the people that I'm like,
Well, I would rather be in my shoes than yours. Yeah.
yeah, like
For
I'm
the
nothing.
examples.
I would never do that to someone. Like that's
Sure.
harsh. Yeah.
No,
Yeah. So just taking comfort in knowing you're not like them.
that sounds awful. I really feel bad for her.
Yeah. Me too.
Mm.
Me too. But I hope my answer helped.
Yeah. I'm
In some
sure.
way.
Did
Yeah.
she reply back? Like, that was no help.
She replied, but I can't remember what she said. I'd have to go back.
It wasn't that though.
No.
I
No.
think you would remember if it was.
Yeah,
so
no.
you probably
It was good. It was a good reply to my reply.
Well, this was a waste of time.
You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Next on my topic was highlights from my talk with nurses. So I was thinking about this today. I got invited by a friend of mine in town who teaches second year nurses. And I really freaking loved it. This is the second time I talked to a group of nursing students. And I was really, really happy to give them, the perspective from a medical mom, a kid with rare conditions and diseases. And I really loved it. I really, really liked it. And then thinking about this, so I have my notes from that talk. So I went and talked and showed them a slideshow and everything. And I'm like, everything I talked with them about, I should completely make this a solo podcast and like reshare it with all of you listening in to Beyond Brave, because it's really, really awesome.
You get any more papers, they're not going to see them. You're going to cover up the entire camera.
I know.
A solo podcast.
Yeah, a solo podcast with what I spoke with the student nurses about. I think would make for a great podcast. It was really awesome. And there was one thing I wanted to share from.
So you're just
They just asked me.
branching away from me?
Well, you're gonna be busy, like even more busy than normal soon. So there probably will be some times where, if I don't have someone to interview, I got to do a solo pod.
I think you could easily do an hour solo.
Oh, 100%. I don't have you breathing down my neck and taking me off of my bunny trails.
Bunny trails?
Isn't that what you call them when you trail off? You trail off on a topic? A bunny trail?
I don't think so, Tim.
That's what me say? I don't know. You trail off.
Yeah.
Bunny trail.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, there was one thing I wanted to share. They asked me so many good questions, but again, this would take like a whole other podcast if I wanted to share all the ones. What are you looking up?
Well, you're going to tell your story. I'm going to look up some hockey scores.
Did I just swear? I'm so sorry. I think I swear.
You can't swear on the podcast. God
Canceled.
damn it, Kyla.
Canceled. Hey, that's even worse.
Oh,
Okay. They just asked really good questions. And one of them was, what would you want others to know about the emotional impact of being a medical mom? And you could answer this for being a medical dad. My answer was, in one sentence or two, I said the emotional impact, it rips your heart apart in ways that very few understand. But when you find those few, it erases the pain of everyone else who doesn't get it.
well,
If I could put being a medical mom into one sentence, that was it.
when you find those few what?
It rips your heart in ways that very few understand.
Uh-huh.
But when you find those few, it erases the pain of everyone else who just doesn't get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What would you want others to know about the emotional impact of being a medical dad?
No, I think that's good.
Oh, you're the worst.
I'm not, I guess, sharing well tonight.
What's wrong with you? Are you tired?
No.
I love like not telling you what we're going to talk about, because then I think like, oh, he'll like comment on this in a really funny way, or because if you know ahead of time, then
You're right.
you know what I mean.
You're right.
All right, what do I got next on here?
If you're looking for some deep impact, like knowledge from me,
No, I
sometimes
have
I'm
all
not just
that.
gonna drop it.
I just came up with the Latin terminology and origin of words. That's me.
Yeah, that's true.
But we have a couple more things to cover that are really fun.
Your face with that piece of paper.
Cover my face. No, I was just gonna say too, if Denny wants to jump in with any questions from our live listeners too.
No, that's okay.
But okay, the next thing is what we mentioned at the beginning of this podcast is Lyle's secret hilarious take on Waylon at 16. You came in the room the other day. We were discussing like grief and just like missing, like I mean, to put it bluntly, we can't have kids anymore. And Waylon's 6 now, right? And so it's like you came up to me and you're like, I wouldn't be mad if Waylon got a girl pregnant at 16 and I could be a grandpa.
Oh yeah.
And
I
you were
did say
like,
that.
and then you did this little motion where you're like, I would just scoop it up, and I'd just be so happy.
No, I'd be like, mine.
Mine. And I thought it was like the sweetest, most endearing, but like also hilarious like comment you could have
Well,
made.
you think about people that, there's kids born young all the time, and
Young parents, yeah.
they do so well lots of the time, and I think no matter what, would be supportive, but
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't look at it as like the end of the world.
No.
And I don't think they do that much anymore. Maybe that was like a
That's
thing
an
back
old
in like the
yeah.
70s and
Yeah. Whereas like
80s
you had to
where
hide it.
you had to
Like,
hide it.
couldn't- Yeah. Yeah.
but I would be quite
You're like
into it.
mine.
Yeah.
I just thought that was cute and
I
hilarious.
say that, but then if it actually happened, I'd be like, no, I am not into this.
You're like, I'm retired. I don't
But
want
it's only 10 years away. Like he'll be 16 in 10 years. I'll
that's
be
crazy.
50. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're 49.
I definitely want to be a grandma, but I don't know about that soon.
Yeah, that's fair. I think your preference would be that
Preference
it's
would
not
be
that.
Yeah.
But if it happened, it would certainly not be that.
But there's perks to being a young grandma too, right?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
I guess you can keep up with the kids.
More energy, keep up with the kids. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look at your parents.
My parents.
They're young.
They're in
Your
their
parents are young.
70s.
Well, now.
Yeah.
But like when our kids were born, they were young. Grandmas.
Okay.
I don't know. I think they are. Compared to my parents. My parents are
same with
older.
mine. My grandpa
Yeah.
was like 80 when I was 5.
Yeah. 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 Cobra Chickens is the next topic on Beyond Brave tonight. Cobra Chickens.
Oh, my favorite band name.
Okay, so we were walking in Nelson, and there was lots of geese there because it was really, really warm. And
Have you just been piling up these topics on your phone?
They
just
have been on the
notes?
Google Drive for over a week now. You could have looked at them anytime you wanted to.
No,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay, so we're walking by this pile of geese, and I'm like, did you know that people call the Canadian
No, you
geese?
just said, look at those Cobra chickens.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Cobra chickens.
Like, look, there's some Cobra chickens. Because everyone that's like not in Canada calls them Cobra chickens because they're like freaking scary because geese will like charge you, and their head looks like a snake cobra. And then their wings, they're a bird, so they're like Cobra chickens. And then you said, wouldn't that be hilarious? Wouldn't that be a sweet band name?
It would be a sweet band name.
And then I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
Because we immediately wondered, is there a band named Cobra Chickens? And there is.
Oh,
I know.
there they are.
I know. Yep. The band,
They have 2 monthly listeners on Spotify.
yes,
Shout out to Cobra Chicken.
Cobra Chickens. They've released songs like Atomic Dreams and Karma, available on Apple Music.
No. You said they've released songs like Atomic Dreams and Karma. They've only released 2 songs called Atomic Dreams and Karma.
We need to know more about the Cobra Chickens. In 2023, they released the 2 singles.
2 singles.
2 singles.
They have 2 monthly listeners.
They maintain a YouTube channel.
And they're eating up the killer band name.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is a killer band name, Cobra Chickens. That's it. That's all I got for today, guys.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Your torture is over.
Well, I think it's pretty acceptable what we put ourselves through with the colds and the coughing and the stuffy noses. What we put anyone listening to this through, I should say.
I'm not that bad. I had like one little tickle, but I didn't like cough into the microphone.
You brought it today.
Yeah, I thought that was a really fun like topic. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
Me?
How long have we been on here for?
40 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I'm totally...
Okay, so I'm going to Mexico.
Oh, there's a few things. Okay, never mind.
Oh, there's a few. Okay, go ahead.
Well, one, I'm repping Blue Jays gear tonight.
It's really dirty. There's a big old stain on it, but okay. Did you like go play in a mud
Jays
puddle?
signed Vladdy Guerrero, 14 years for $500 million.
Whoa.
I was nervous because my last gift,
I didn't think
Bella
he would
got
ever
me.
leave, though.
Bella got me, the last gift she ever got me for Father's Day was that Vladdy Guerrero Blue Jays jersey.
Such a good gift giver.
I know, she nailed it, but I've been nervous ever since because his contract was up at the end of this year. I was like, oh man, he's not going to re-sign as a J, and Bella got me this amazing jersey. Aww. And it's not going to.
No, Toronto is Vladdy's home.
Now he's re-signed for the rest of his damn playing career.
That's awesome.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Number 2, Black Mirror season 7 drops tonight on Netflix.
Ooh.
I'm super pumped.
You're up on like the TV, like
I know.
What do people
I'm
call
our pop guy.
Pop culture dude. You're the
But like kind of like not.
I've been catching up on Ultimatum. That's all I got.
What's Ultimatum? Oh,
it's
no.
when like a dating couple, one of the dating couples is like, you have to go into ultimatum, and if you're not engaged to me by the end of the ultimatum, I'm leaving you. That's basically the show.
Oh, okay. Well, Black Mirror is like a sci-fi show, and whenever
really
you watch one, it's like 6 episodes in a season, and they're all totally different storylines. And every one of them makes you feel really awful by the end of the episode.
But they're good because they're like this real cool storyline that wraps up.
Yeah.
You're not left hanging. It's not 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Which I like.
It's in and out in like...
And I really like...
an hour.
I love guessing what's going to happen because I'm really good at that with a lot of them. And I like within the first couple... I see how soon I can guess like what's going to happen. And then I'm like, oh, I called it.
Yeah, there's no cliffhangers. And it's not a 2.5 hour movie. So
I like calling the outcome. The last one we watched was John Hamm, and I was like, oh, he's interrogating this guy.
Oh, the White Christmas episode.
Yeah,
that's one of the best ones.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I wanted to start watching.
Yeah, and they have like big movie stars on the show.
Yeah.
On their shows, yeah.
Okay, when is the new season out?
It drops tonight, Netflix. We gotta go.
Yeah, bye guys. Really bad. I wanted to start watching Selling Sunset. The next season, but apparently when I went and Googled it, because I was like, it's not on Netflix, why is it not on Netflix? Apparently they had to halt production because of the fires that were happening in California in like December and January.
Ooh.
Because the Oppenheimer group basis of the show is there, and it was like threatened by the fires.
So like selling simmer.
Selling seared shingles. Say that 5 times fast. Selling seared shingles.
No.
No, can't say that. Anyways, yeah.
Those
So
are big, exciting lives of watching television.
back to Mexico.
Oh, and the driving range in Saskatchewan are opening like today, tomorrow. Golf courses are opening up in like a
Nobody
week.
listening is caring about that right now.
Oh, there's gotta be.
Do you think so? I shouldn't say that.
Someone reach
Shout out to our golf lovers. Because Lyle's our co-host, of course.
Yeah. So that's another exciting thing that's happening.
Yeah.
But tree season for me is starting up, and so I probably won't get to the course very much
You need to use
for a month or two.
You need to use the commercial Ryan Reynolds made for you.
I know.
We have to get that out there. It's tree season.
One last sales push.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or at least play it on our pod because we don't have any other ad reads or commercials going on right now. We're a commercialless pod.
That's okay. That's fine.
I'm kind of annoyed though with the amount of like businesses out there that they're not up and up with the times. And it's like I listen to all these podcasts that have all these awesome commercials about brands and things. Like it's a form of like monetizing for the podcast. And then I'll like reach out to these companies. They're like, "What's an ad read? What do you mean? I don't know about this." It's like I'm talking to a bunch of grandpas trying to get them to like learn Facebook.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's my beef
That's
of the
not
day.
a big deal. I'd be doing it
That's not a big deal.
regardless, right?
Oh, exactly. That yeah, it's fine. But I'm just shocked at how many large businesses don't use ad reads. I'm like shocked by that. I don't know. I think it's weird.
Anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in
Oh, I'm not
tonight.
gonna- I'm
I
gonna
want
talk about
everyone
Mexico?
to. Oh no, we're gonna leave it for next week.
Well, we should leave it for when I'm back, I guess.
Okay.
I just wanted to tell everyone I was really excited because like it's the first
Go ahead.
time I'm going with. The last time you and I went to Mexico was 2007 with friends. My one friend that's coming with me, I don't think she's been anywhere like this since her honeymoon. It's like a big deal. It's like a big deal over here.
It's a direct flight out of Calgary. It's not that big.
No, just the fact that I can go to like Mexico with friends is like
Yeah, you'll
this
enjoy
never
yourself.
happened before.
You'll be able to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
good.
excited about it. So stay tuned for a future pod. I'll tell you guys all about Mexico.
If you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure to give us 5 stars and then hit that little bell to notify you when our new episodes drop. And do the same thing on Apple Podcasts. I think you can rate us on there. I don't think you can set a notification for us, but you can click follow. And we really appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna add a little bit to that with my little like bravery. Don't sigh. What do you have somewhere? Oh, something is happening. What is it? What are you trying to catch? You are trying to get out of here faster than a crack on a cracker.
It's a good bookend. And all right,
The Masters is on. That's what it is.
usually,
It's
no,
the
the
Masters.
Masters is not on at 8 p.m. at night.
What is it? Where are you trying to go?
Come
You're
on.
going to Houston's for beers. That's what it is. I got it. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Remember, Bravelings, bravery isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just showing up one moment at a time. If today's episode moved you, you can find Beyond Brave on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you tune in. We'd love for you to subscribe, share, and keep spreading the brave. And if you want to reach out to me on my socials, you can also find me at Kyla CT on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe, like Lyle had mentioned earlier, so you don't miss our next episode.
That was so much better than mine.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight.
Thank you. Always stay